Hi guys, this is DCRS here, and I'll be doing another video for today. This may look like it's a deck profile, but actually it's not. It's more of a deck discussion between why I would run depending on your choices when when you're running heroes. Basically, the cards you would tech in to use for heroes, but yeah, this is going to be a discussion video. I'm going to be talking about the deck, this deck, how it works, how it functions, because a lot of people have been, commenting on the deck that I posted last. This is more of an updated version, just to let you know. But yeah, they've pretty much commented saying, why don't you run Gemini Sparks, or why don't you run why don't you run what's that card called? Hero Blast or something like that. You know, the normal hero beat type of cards. Or Gemini beat, whatever. But yeah, reason why is that because this deck isn't exactly revolving around Gemini heroes, or in this case Gemini Spark. It doesn't revolve around that. I think Gemini Spark is a waste of a +1, +1, I don't know, -1, I think. Basically, you tribute nearest alias, and you target one card on the field, destroy that, and draw a card. So let's just say for a scenario, you destroyed one card, and okay, you've destroyed that card. Alright, that's a threat of a card. Yeah, okay, and then what next? So it's basically you only just run 1 out of 5 to 10 cards on your opponent's field, and you're wasting like 2 of your cards just to get rid of that one specific card. So yeah, Gemini Spark, it's too slow in my opinion, and yeah, too slow is not exactly good. This deck is more a speed-based one. Speed-based type of deck. Yeah, heroes are slow without Stratos, but this deck can revolve without Stratos because free calls and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. You get the cards you need in a way, and yeah. So yeah, as you can see, I run 3 Bubblemans, 3 Neos Aliases, 2 Oceans, and the Thunder King. Thunder King is yeah, people say that why run Thunder King? Thunder King, doesn't that stop you from adding cards to hand? You can't even use like Equal or Duality or anything like that. To be honest, yes, that's true. But in a more point of view, and a bigger point of view, Thunder King does more than just stop my cards from being played. It stops my opponent's cards from being played as well. Even if I can't search, it doesn't matter. As long as I have controlled field, as long as I've controlled the field, that's okay. Because Thunder King, it's an anti-meta card basically. It stops your opponent from doing things to you. And since this is a back row type of heavy deck, this deck can resolve without searching. Can work without searching for a limited amount of time, depending how your field or hand is, depending on your cards that you have. Yeah, I run Thunder King because it stops my opponents from doing things. It stops me from activating only Equal and Duality, but it stops them from activating cards that search. For example, Bujins search. You may think that no, they don't search. No, but they actually do. It depends. 99% of the time. Because, first of all, they need to get their Yamato to their hand. What do? Play Tenki, 5 formation Tenki. They get Yamato to their hand. And what else does Yamato do? Yamato adds Bujin cards to your hand, and then it sends them to the grave. So, keyword, add cards. So Fun King is a really good card, like, for the format. So I like running Fun King because it stops my opponents from doing their plays. I hope you understand what Fun King does by now, and please don't panic. Fun King can be destroyed easily, and then you can do your searches afterwards. But yeah. Now, next card I like to talk about, Mask Change. People like to run 2 to 3 Mask Change from what I've seen, and commented saying just run 2 and just put in 2 Gem Sparks and take out MST. That's what one person said from the comments. But I like to say that no, I like Mask Change as it is. Even if I dead draw it, that's okay. I can use Mask Change later. As long as I don't draw it when I'm in a bad situation, then I'm fine. And that usually happens like 50, no, not 50, depending how bad your field is, or how bad your hand is. Mostly 10%, no, 20%, 20 to 30% of the time, you dead draw Mask Change. But compared to that 70% scenario, it does well. Also, if you draw Mask Changes in the beginning, and if you have a water here in your hand, Mask Change is very, very live in that scenario, because Mask Change is a very explosive card. Basically, how it works is you target a hero on the field, face-up hero, with the same attribute as the one from your extra deck. So, okay, you've targeted your hero. Your opponent tries to stop you from summoning out your masked hero, acid, or vapor, or whatever. Or down, depending what attribute you're using, or Goka. Okay, then what? How are they going to stop it? A lot of people aren't aware of how Mask Change works. I've seen this so many times at the end. It's not funny. It's not funny. They say, oh, okay, I'm gonna warning the monster that comes out of it. No, you cannot warning Mask Change. You can't warning the monster coming out of it. You have to warning Mask Change, because Mask Change is making the summon. It's an effect summon, not an inherit summon. Effect summon. This is why everyone gets confused when they play warning, or anything else in particular. Also, you have to be aware of your chain links, because if Mask Change is in chain link 2 or higher, that monster is unbonusable and untarangelable when it comes out, like Cresta said in the Master discussion video. So yeah, Mask Change, very, very good card for any hero deck, and I recommend using it. You can run 2 to 3. I run 3 because I like running 3. I like to draw it as soon as possible, and I don't run Gemini Sparks because Mask Change is more live, and Mask Change can do a lot more than just pop one card on the field. When Acid comes out, it destroys all the cards on your opponent's back row, or spells and traps, basically. So yeah, if you activate this during your end phase, they cannot do a single thing after they set those cards, and basically you would go plus whatever, +5, +6, whatever, or minus, I don't know, minus +1, I don't know, +0 to be honest. Actually, it's a -1, I guess. But yeah, they will go minus tremendously. That's why I like Mask Change. Mask Change is, at the moment, one of the best cards you can use for heroes. So if you see a lot of decks using Mask Change, that's probably why, because Mask Change is a very good card. Also, people decide to run 2 MSTs. I don't like MST. Oh wait, I do like MST. Sorry. For this format, without Heavy Storm, MST is a staple at 3. You must have 3, otherwise the deck will. Otherwise, your plays won't. Well, you'll lose the back row, I guess. So it's not going to be that good. So yeah, run 3 MSTs. Even if you dead draw, it's alright. You can just play it later on. But I doubt you dead draw it, because you probably have your key cards 70% to 80% of the time, depending how well you draw and shuffle. Yeah. Dualities, I like Duality in a way. Duality's okay in this deck, but if there was more like if there were cards that can search out your heroes more often, I would actually, well, for example, Stratos. If Stratos was in here, I'd probably take one Duality out, depending. And yeah, that's probably it. That's all I could say for Duality. Also, superpromization. As you can see, I've only run one superpromization, not two, because the reason why is Super Poly is a dead draw. I don't like drawing it later in the game, unless, oh, well, depending how well the scenario is and how well your hand is. But yeah, Super Poly, it's good at one. Side deck, it's good at one, depending how well you verse. But yeah, you only side in the second one if you're versing decks that run waters or lights. And for the current meta, Mermails and Boojins and maybe artifacts later on or something like that, I don't know. Basically decks that run lights or waters, you'd probably side in the other Super Poly. But yeah, that's how it would be. Also, not many people use this card, but Mind Control. Mind Control is possibly one of the best cards to use in the main deck for this format. Reason why is because, yeah, it's basically what its effect says is, yeah, it takes control of your opponent's monster and it can attack, but you can XYZ with it, and also for this hero deck, you can also fuse with it. So yeah, Mind Control, definitely a really good card for this format. I recommend it. Also, if you have a Miracle Fusion in your hand, you can do some pretty bad shenanigans. Oh, good shenanigans. I don't know, depending which is good or bad. With Mind Control, basically, if you have a hero on the field, use Mind Control, take control of their monster, and then play Miracle Fusion, and basically fuse their monster, and they cannot get it back whatsoever. Unless it's Boojins, then you would, I don't know, they would turtle it. But this card's mostly used when you're versing Boojins. You would basically bait out their turtle. This card is basically baits out their turtles, so they can't use it again until they keep dumping them in the graveyard. But other than that, it's you basically need to watch out for the graveyard for when you're versing Boojins with Mind Control. Mind Control is a good card when you're versing Boojins, in a way, because it, I don't know, it can be good or bad depending on what the scenario is. And also with Book of Moon as well. Book of Moon and Mind Control, two best cards when versing any deck or Boojins, whatever. But yeah, I'm talking about Boojins a lot, but yeah, I don't like that deck. But I know how to stop it. I haven't been versing it quite a lot at my locals and stuff because, well, we keep dodging each other, and there's many Boojin players at my locals. I just never verse them. I verse other players. I just don't verse them much as often. But I'm prepared to verse them, that's for sure. But yeah, that's the scenario behind Mind Control and Book of Moon in this deck. For Breakthrough Skill, I don't run Veilers in this deck because I don't want my opponent. Well, if my opponent has D-Fissure, or I play D-Fissure and do stuff with it, Breakthrough Skill becomes, well, it doesn't do that well when, well, I mean, not Breakthrough Skill, Veiler. If they have D-Fissure on the field, you can't use Veiler whatsoever, so you can't stop their monster. Also, Veiler, when you're using it against Yamato, or, yeah, Yamato pretty much, Yamato activates Factor in the end phase anyway, so that's why Veiler, to be honest, it's not a hot card at the moment. Actually, wait, maybe it is a hot card. Yeah, Veiler's used quite often in the scenario. But yeah, I don't run Veilers. If Veiler's used against me, I don't care. That's okay. They waste the Veiler. But yeah, I just prefer Breakthrough because it gives me more options in this deck. And if they play Macro Cosmos, then I will cry. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Also, with Call Haunted, you should know this by now if you've been watching the videos that I posted up for Mask Change and basically first turn Mask Change OTK in a way. Oh no, not first turn Mask Change OTK. Basically nuke their back row. But yeah, Call Haunted pretty much sets up that scenario if your water hero is destroyed. So yeah, if you have Call Haunted, bring it back, then they're pretty much like during the end phase you play Call Haunted and then play Master Change afterwards. But yeah, they pretty much are relieved that they got rid of your water monster, because now they can actually set back row because they're not afraid of Master Change. But then you spring this up, Call Haunted, and bring back your water monster, and then it'd be like, oh crud, I shouldn't have set back row, and then you just play Master Change and nuke their back row. So yeah, Call Haunted, it's a big surprise in the second. Call Haunted's going to be a really good card this format for April. I recommend. I think Call Haunted's going to be used quite a lot since Fifis. Ever since they got hit, the deck is pretty much going to revolve around Call Haunted, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, let's see side deck options. Here's what I run for my side deck. Basically, I like using cards that can stop my opponent from doing stuff. It doesn't really affect me that much, but it can slow my opponent down tremendously, and then I can use my plays later on in the duel. But yeah, DD Crows. I decided to put him in now because DD Crow is going to be another hot card for this format, because DD Crow is very, very good against any deck that resolves around their grave. Harpies, for example, is like you activate Hysteric Sign, okay, destroy. Well, no, basically Hysteric Sign gets sent to graveyard, destroyed, on your by your opponent's card or my card, whatever, Master Change, and then I play DD Crow, and it's like they cry, pretty much, because they can't get their searches and their hand is pretty much going to be dead. Or no, oh crap, timeout. Hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. So DD Crow, good card. It's a hot card for this format, and anyway, so yeah, I like DD Crow. It's useful. Faustina. I chose to run Faustina's deck because, well, how many decks can you name of? How many names? Basically decks that you can name that special summon tremendously. Faustina can stop that, and yeah, it can do quite a lot. It can stop Mermails from spamming. It can stop Harpies, depending how they do, depending if you don't get defeated that easily. But yeah, Faustina, a really good card this format. I like running it. 2 maxis for anything that's spam specials. Dimensional Fissure. It doesn't stop my It in a way it does. Well, not really. It doesn't really stop my plays from going off, because if you haven't known this by now, when you're playing Master Change or Super Poly under Dimensional Fissure, you can still their effects and stuff will still go off, and you can fuse under that. On the Dimensional Fissure, you can do that. But yeah, your plays can actually work under Dimensional Fissure, so don't be afraid if you are going to Master Change or Super Poly under D Fissure. You can still do that. You can still fuse under Dimensional Fissure. That's correct. You can. Super Poly is pretty explanatory. And now on into side. 2 Mind Crushes. Well, I side Mind Crushes because if they search, I can just dump it. And if they have more Cranes in their hand, hello Cranes, bye bye Cranes, you're all Cranes and are dead. And now dumped in the grave. And also, you can take a look at your opponent's hand, see if there are any more copies of it, and which pretty much gives you a glimpse of what they have in their hand and what they have planned for you. So yeah, if you know it's a bluff card, you'll probably know if they set cards that are probably bluffs. So yeah, Mind Crush is good. 2 mistakes. Well, I run mistakes. Normally this card was mainly used for spellbooks, but since no one runs spellbooks anymore, in meta-wise, so Mistake is not only used for spellbooks, it can be used with other decks that search as well. Tanky, or what's another deck that searches? Bujins, for example. Bujin searches, Fifis search. So pretty much it's used against any deck that searches. Private Warlords. You play your warriors easily. You only play warriors. You only go for other XYZs if you're in the desperate situation or want to control the field. Soul Drain, well, it hurts me in a way, but to be honest, it hurts my opponent more. The only thing it stops is my Absolute Zeros and Shining plays. But other than that, not really. It doesn't stop me from doing other stuff. Those are the only two that stop it. Those are the only two cards that will be stopped. But other than that, no. As you see from my extra deck, I run the standard lineup of fusions. And then, as you see, there is no Great Tornado. To be honest, Great Tornado isn't that big of a card to be used this format. Or, yeah, I suppose. Ever since 101 came out, Great Tornado became a, well, it didn't really do much. It's not exactly useful anymore. That's why I took Great Tornado. Yeah, if you're versing like Harpies or a wind-based deck, I guess you could say you're in a bad situation. Well, depending on how big the situation is. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I don't run Great Tornado in this anymore because, well, how many wind decks are there other than Harpies that are competitive? Yeah, sure, they're rogue type of decks, but I doubt you'll see many wind type of attributes competitive decks around. Gustos, well, that's Gustos, but they special summon a lot, so you can just 101 them, and they pretty much can't do anything. So yeah. And yeah, I also run Joella. Joella's a hot card, as usual, for this format or any format that revolves around the graves. Joella's really good. Surprised it went up quite a bit ever since the YCS. Blade Armor Ninja is pretty explanatory. Extra Knight. I run Extra Knight in this deck. It's really easy to bring out, and also with the amount of back road you will have, depending how much you use, Extra Knight becomes quite live later on in a desperate situation. But yeah, you'll probably bring out Extra Knight rarely, depending how well you draw. But yeah, Extra Knight, it's in there for optional XYZ. It's just there, just to be there in case you need for emergencies. Excalibur, pretty explanatory. It's a warrior based deck. And 101. 101's a really good card for this format. I don't see why you wouldn't run 2 to 3, 2 to 1, 1 to 2 of Arc Knight, or Silent Honor Arc. Silent Honor Arc. Yeah, you can run 2 to 3 of them. I mean, sorry, 1 to 2. I keep saying 2 to 3 because it's mass change. Basically, you can run 1 to 2 of these. If you don't have Extra Knight, you can run 2 Silent Honor Arcs. Well, pretty much sums it up. You will have a pretty expensive extra deck. But yeah, this deck is pretty competitive in a way. I've done pretty well with this deck in a way, but I haven't really won a YCS or anything like that with it yet, since heroes need that more support. Also, everyone hates heroes, except for the hero players and stuff. But yeah, they think it's too, well, broken or something like that. Yeah, players are always going to be salty and they're always going to complain. But yeah, heroes are heroes, and they always top deck well, if you know how deck works. But yeah, this is my explanation on how the deck runs. Well, my deck runs, and if you like it, and side deck and stuff, and extra deck, if you like it, please comment below, or yeah, comment below, and like this video. If you watch the whole entire if you watch the whole entire video, please comment below saying you did, and I pretty much say thank you for explaining this deck, so now I can understand it better, or something like that. Really, thank you for the deck discussion and stuff like that. I just want to explain how this works, and so I can just let everyone rest in peace with this of complaining to why I don't run Gem Sparks or any non-hero related cards. The only cards I run is Mass Change and stuff, and they think that's no, it's bad. Mass Change is bad, or no, really, you only need 2. But yeah, no. I run free. I don't run 2. This deck is based around summoning out assets and stuff. Yeah, this is my build, and this is the one I enjoy playing the most, and it's my main deck. So, if you basically, yeah, I can do whatever I want with this deck. And if you don't like it, fine, it's your idea of saying I don't like your deck. I think my hero deck's better than yours. Well, good whoop-de-doo. Then your deck's good. Your deck's better than mine. So what? This is my deck. But yeah, so yeah, please, post a comment below saying you've watched the whole entire video, so I know that you enjoyed this, and I like to get, please give back feedback or support with if you've liked this deck, or just, give me support or advice in a way. Don't just say, please, just run G-Sparks or something like that. Don't run basically, take out your cards and just put G-Sparks and stuff in, or Hero Blast and stuff. No, I don't want to run that. Give me some advice that can actually benefit this deck. I don't want to run G-Sparks. I hate that card. I don't like Gemini Sparks. But yeah. And also, I also forgot to mention, Kaiser Coliseum, I've tried running this in this deck. It's okay. It stops them from doing stuff, but if they play Full House on me, I'm screwed. So yeah, other than that, yeah, this deck is pretty good. It also stops XYZ, not Gem, for God's sakes, I forgot now. Kaiser Coliseum, yeah. Kaiser Coliseum stops him from XYZing if you have a one monster on the field. But yeah, your boss monster. But yeah, please, give me support or advice, and don't say to put in Gemini Sparks or something like that in. Otherwise, I would delete your comment, and I don't want to do that. But I've been hearing so many responses saying please run Gemini Sparks or something like that. Please just give me nice support and feedback saying nice deck, nice video. And yeah, I just want general positive feedback, please. But yeah, thank you for watching, and if you've watched this entire video for 30 minutes straight, you are definitely a true hero. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next, see you guys next time. So this is DCRS signing out. Bye.